All right, hi everyone, it's Brittany coming to you here from Alive Yoga. We're going to be doing a prenatal yoga practice using wall space today. If you don't have any open wall space, you can also close up a door and use the door as a bit of the wall space as well. I'm going to be using this wall space right here. I have also brought from home a pillow. The snuggle is real. And I also brought a comfy, cozy, fuzzy blanket as well. So these are going to be added props for you to use if you would like, just to give yourself a little bit more comfort and space. So you're welcome to pause this video, go and grab that stuff, and then we can meet back here. Awesome. So I'm going to prop myself up on my blanket. I have it folded up here a little bit and come to sit into a comfortable cross-legged position, allowing myself to sit on the very edge of the blanket here. So it's just enough height to lift the tailbone or to lift the hips and the pelvis up a little bit here so that the spine can lengthen a little bit, the hips can soften. And then let's inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, roll them back down. And we're just gonna take a few more of these really gentle shoulder shrugs. And so the next time the shoulders roll down and away from the ears, just feel them set there on the back body. You can close your eyes. Let's bring one hand to your heart and one hand onto your belly. And with your next inhale, breathe in a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller. Feel the chest and the belly expand. And then exhale to release. And just take a few more of these mindful grounding breaths here, noticing how the breath feels moving through the body. And so you might notice, depending on what stage you're at in your pregnancy, that the breath is a little bit more restricted. As baby grows more, they take up more space, and particularly it can feel uncomfortable to breathe. So I'm just gonna let you pick the count of breath, whatever feels better for you. Inhaling through the nose, and then you can either exhale through the nose or through the mouth, whatever provides a bit more of a release. And as we breathe in stillness here, taking a moment to scan through the body, checking in from the top of the head, making your way down to the tips of the toes. Acknowledging how the physical body feels, but also acknowledging how the mental and emotional body feels as well. Give yourself permission to be okay with wherever you're at. Give yourself permission to express and feel any emotions and feelings that might surface for you during this time, during this practice, and throughout the rest of your journey through pregnancy. And now beginning to envision a white beam of light connecting your heart to baby's heart. And between this white beam of light, there's a connection that only you can know and truly understand right now. Taking a moment to acknowledge your body, this incredible machine that works so hard for you, not only to take care of you every moment of every day, but also that works so hard to take care of the growth and development of your growing baby. And despite everything that might be happening around you, body knows what to do to continue to care for you, to care for baby. Maybe you're at a stage of pregnancy pregnancy where you're feeling some movement beneath your hand resting on the belly. Tune into that. And if you're not quite there yet, maybe just think about, just visualize what that sensation might feel like. And then the hand that's resting on the chest, maybe you can feel your heartbeat beneath your hand. As we move through our practice today, here's your reminder to take it at your own pace. We're going to be moving gently and in a way that supports most bodies, but if at any time things don't feel right for you, know that it's okay to rest or modify or skip altogether. With your next inhale in, send the breath a little bit deeper into the belly, and exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, full. Exhale, release. And take one more. And then you can go ahead and release your hands down into your lap. Start to draw your chin in towards your chest, elongating into the back of your neck. You're welcome to stay and breathe right here, directing the breath from the base of the skull down to the tailbone. Or if you want to take the stretch a little deeper, interlace your fingers, bring your palms to rest onto the back of the head. Your elbows are staying lifted, and being mindful that you're not pulling the head down here. Just let the hands rest. Let the jaw continue to be soft here. Let the exhales come out of the open mouth. Let's take 2 more breaths. Last one. And then you can release your hands down into your lap if they're on the back of the head. With your next inhale, roll your right ear up towards your right shoulder. Breathe into the left side of your neck. As you exhale, your chin rolls back to the chest, and then inhale over to the other side. Exhale, chin back to the chest, and just keep moving with your own breath here. Rocking the head from side to side. And if it feels okay for the back of the neck and you want to let the head fall back before it rolls over to the other shoulder, you are welcome to do so. If at any point there's pinching or pulling or pain in the neck, dial it back. Let's take one more breath on each side. And once both sides are even, making your way back up into neutral, the head can lift, the eyes can open if they've been closed. And hands are going to continue to rest onto the thighs. Let's start to draw some circles with your torso. So imagine that you are a spatula trying to scoop out the last little bit of peanut butter from the jar of the peanut butter jar. And you can make this movement a little bit more dynamic as well. You can add on some deeper rolls into the ribs, into the shoulders. The circles can also be small. They don't have to be really big. Just start to tune into your body and feel the sense of rhythm that you are creating. And then next time you pass through center, let's start to go the other way. Stay connected to your breath. Play around with how this feels. Let's take one more breath. And then finding your way back into stillness. With your next inhale, circle the arms up and overhead. Maybe take the gaze up to the ceiling. And exhale, your hands come down to your heart. Palms stay together. Inhale, reach the fingers up. And exhale for the arms to lower. Let's take one more like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, extend. And exhale to lower. Bring your right hand down onto the floor or mat beside you. Inhale to reach your left arm up. Feel the right shoulder fall away from your ear, so you're bending into your right elbow, and stay grounded and rooted down into your left hip here. Gaze can be in any direction that feels better for your neck. Take one more inhale. With your exhale, let's lower the left hand down. Planting it, use an inhale, reach your right arm up. Stay rooted into your right hip, bend into your left elbow, shoulder falls away from the ear. Soften the jaw, turn your gaze wherever feels better. Take one more inhale. With your exhale, let's lower. And then starting to rock the baby here, inhale to reach your left arm up. And exhale, release. Inhale, reach the right arm up. I think I messed that up on the other side. Exhale, release. This is your left arm. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And exhale, lower. Take one more on each side. Move with your breath. And once both sides are even, make your way back into neutral. From here, coming onto your hands and your knees. So I'm going to move my blanket out of the way and off to the side. If your knees are extra sensitive, you're always welcome to open it up across the center of your mat so that you can provide yourself with a little bit more cushion. We're making our way onto the hands and the knees into your tabletop pose. And if your wrists are ever sensitive to be on flat palms, you're always welcome to come onto stacked fists instead. Know that this is always accessible. Your knees can be under your hips, or you can take them wider here as well, making that extra space for the belly. Then with an inhale, let the belly fall slightly. Gaze up to the ceiling. Then exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, hug baby up towards the back body. Inhale, either stay in neutral, or if it feels okay, let the belly fall. And exhale, tuck in and round. And we're gonna take 3 more of these cat-cows. So if at any time it feels like it's pulling too much onto the belly or through the chest and the ribs, just keep your spine in neutral and focus on the exhale. Let's do one more. Then with your next inhale, come back into your neutral spine. Let's start to draw some circles with the hips. So rotating hips down to heels, back up and through center. And again, you are welcome to take the knees wider. You can take the hands wider as well. And the circles don't have to be big, they can be small. Next time you pass through center, take these circles in the opposite direction. Again, feel free to explore this movement. You can add on some barrel rolls. You can add on some rolls into the shoulders. Just tune into what feels good in your body. And then we'll come back into neutral from here. Tuck your right toes under. Slide the ball of your right foot back and press it into the wall back behind you. Now, if you are not close to the wall, start to make your way back up there. So we're going to keep the ball of your foot resting down here. Press through the hands so you're not letting the chest and the belly fall down too much. You're keeping baby hugged up here a bit. You can come onto stacked fists if you need to. And if you want to take this further, let's slide the right foot up so that the leg is in line with the hip. Press the foot into the wall, gaze stays down. And if you want to take this a little bit further, extend your left arm out. If that doesn't feel good for your body, bring your left hand back down. We're just going to take one more breath. If the left arm is extended, plant it back onto the mat. Let's slide your right foot down and then step your right foot off the edge of your mat. So you're pressing down through the pinky toe side of your right foot. Then inhale, reach your right arm up, open up into your chest, and exhale, thread the right arm underneath your left. Inhale, open it up. Exhale to thread. Let's take one more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring your right hand back onto the mat and then right knee comes back. Slide the ball of your left foot back. Press it into the wall. You are welcome to stay here. Moving further, let's lift that leg up so that it's hip distance. Press the foot into the wall so you're using the glutes and the hamstrings. Then maybe you extend your right arm out. If that's too much, bring the hand back down onto the mat. Take one more strong breath. Good. Then sliding or bringing your right hand back down onto the mat if it's extended. Left foot slides down. Then step your left foot off the edge of the mat. Inhale, let's reach your left arm up, open into your chest, and exhale to thread. inhale, open, and exhale. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Bring your left hand and your left knee onto the mat. Big toes come together, knees go wide, hips to heels, and walk your arms out into your child's pose. Let the forehead come to rest onto the mat. If it doesn't reach, grab your blanket, grab your pillow, anything that you could use either under your forehead or between your bum and your heels to provide you with a little bit of extra support and a little bit of height. With your next inhale, let's come back up onto your hands and your knees. If you are using any props, just scoot them off and out of the way. Knees come back so that they're closer together. Tuck your toes under and sit down onto your heels here. So we're breathing into the toes and the arches of the feet. If this is super intense right away, feel free to bring your hands down either onto the mat, you can bring your hands onto any props, or just keep your hands resting on your thighs or on your belly. So there's lots of different options here. This is going to grow more intense the longer that we hold. So unclench your jaw. Let's inhale, roll your shoulders up, and exhale, roll them down. Then interlace your fingers together. Start to draw some circles or some figure eights with your wrists. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last inhale. With your exhale, go ahead and release your arms. Give the wrists a shake out. Then come back down onto your hands. Release the toes. Give them a little wiggle. Maybe pat them on the mat. Feel that cool, fresh blood come back into the toes. Then let's curl the knuckles of the toes under the opposite way. Come back to sit down onto the heels. Usually a lot more intense for most of us. You can see my shoulders are hunched up because this is uncomfortable. Roll them down. Let's just take 2 more breaths. Good. Make your way back down onto your hands and your knees. Give it all a good little wiggle out. Pat it out here again if that feels good. Then take your knees out a little bit wider. If you're still about the center of your mat, you're probably going to be close to the wall. So let's just walk ourselves up a little bit closer to the top edge of the mat. So knees can go a little bit wider. Spread your fingers wide. Press the mat away. Curl the toes. Then inhale, lift your knees, lift your hips, send your chest and the belly back to the thighs. And you can take your feet out a little bit wider here as well so that you're in a wider downward dog. Keep this little bend into the knees and you can start to pedal into your heels. Bend one knee and then the other. Take 1 more breath. Then come back into center, gaze back to your toes, walk your hands back to your feet, widen your feet as much as you need to, then rise up to rest your elbows onto your thighs. So we're in this squatting variation here. The downward dog is an inversion, which means the head is below the heart. So we are having a little bit more excess blood flow going on through the body right now. So we want to make sure that we're moving slow out of this, also building some warmth and heat into the legs. Now bring your hands onto the thighs, press through your feet, start to straighten your legs. Good. Hands come to your hips, heel toe your feet so they're a comfortable distance apart. And then take a soft bend into your knees. Start to draw some circles with your hips like you have a hula hoop around you. And then let's go the other way. Perfect. Come back into center. Now we're going to move a little bit closer to the wall. Bring your left hand onto the wall and have the arm be almost straight, soft bend into the elbow, then cross your right foot in front of your left. With your next inhale, let's reach your right arm up and breathe into your right side body. The fingers might reach the wall, they might not, that's okay. If you're feeling any pulling or pinching or pain in your ribs or in your lower back, start to lift yourself back up. Soften this right shoulder. Take 1 more breath. Then use your next inhale, come all the way back up. and uncross. Good. Now, I'm going to do the root thing and turn my back to you so that we can come to the other side. So you're bringing your right hand onto the wall, cross your left foot in front of the right. Then with your inhale, reach the left arm up. One more breath. Then with your next inhale, let's come all the way back up. Lower that hand down. Uncross your legs. Give everything a little shrug, shake, wiggle out. Then let's take your feet a little bit wider here. Take your palms out in front of you, palms face down. Then plug your arm bones back into your shoulder sockets. Take an inhale in, and with your exhale, bend into your knees, reach your tailbone back for your chair pose. Inhale, press through your feet, reach the arms up, and then exhale, arms come back down. And we're gonna keep moving with your breath here. Now, anytime the arms come overhead, that does take us into a bit of a back bend. So if that causes discomfort in your lower back to lift and lower the arms, instead just keep your hands at the heart, press through your feet, and then exhale, sit back down. Okay, so we're gonna take 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. And exhale. Hold here in your chair pose, hands either at your heart or palms extended, arms plugged back into the shoulder sockets. Maybe take a little bounce. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press through your feet or reach your arms up. And exhale to lower. Good. Give everything a little shrug and a wiggle out here once again. Then we're making our way back up towards the wall space. Hands come onto the wall, rib cage distance height, shoulder distance apart, and feet are hip distance or a bit wider. Start to transfer your weight off into your right foot. With an inhale, step your left foot back into a high lunge. So we're staying on the ball of your left foot, heel stays lifted, maybe a little bend into the left knee. And your right ankle stays stacked above your, or stacked underneath your right knee rather. Now, from here, think about shifting your left hip forward as your right hip slides back. Not sure if you can see this little tweak, left hip forward, right hip comes back, scissoring into your inner thighs. Now, we're just going to hold and breathe here. You can focus your gaze on the wall in front of you. You can close your eyes, whatever feels more comfortable. Let the jaw be soft. And if you want to play with your balance here, try releasing your hands away from the wall, maybe extending your fingers up. If the arms go overhead, let the shoulders soften and fall away from the ears. Take 2 more breaths. If the arms are extended, bring your hands back onto the wall. Then bring your awareness into your right heel. With an inhale, press through the right heel, straighten but don't lock the knee, and exhale, lunge back in. Inhale to straighten. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Perfect. Now use your back foot like a springboard, step up. Release your hands down, give everything a little wiggle and a shake out. And then hands come back. Transfer your weight off into your left foot. Inhale, step your right foot back. So we're on the ball of your right foot here now. Left knee stacked above the left ankle, right heel stays lifted, maybe a little bend into that back knee. Then shift your right hip forward, left hip slides back. Scissor into the inner thighs. Keep equal weight transferred in both feet. Gaze can close, or eyes can close, or gaze can stay soft. Let the tongue fall away from the ear. That didn't make any sense at all. I'm not sure if you can tell here. I got a bit of a migraine brain happening. I just said let the tongue fall away from the ear. I meant let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. I caught myself though. If your hands are still on the wall, let's inhale, extend your arms up. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. And if the arms are extended, bring the hands back onto the wall. Let's press through your left heel. Inhale, straighten through your left leg, but don't lock the knee. Exhale, lunge in. Inhale to straighten. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last two, inhale. Exhale. And last one. Good. Now use your back foot like a springboard, step up. Give your legs a good little wiggle and a shake out. Okay. Then from here, hands come back onto the wall. We're bringing the ball of your right foot up onto the baseboard or the edge of the wall. If this is pretty intense through the foot, you can take your pillow or your blanket up against the edge of the wall and rest your foot into that as well, but it's a little bit softer than what we would use as a block in the studio. So just play around with it however you need to. The foot, you can even have the toes or the ball of the foot on the floor and toes on the wall as well. Then let's step your left foot back about 2 feet, okay? Your left toes are turned out to the left slightly. Then think about repositioning your hips back to face the wall. Both legs are straight. You can stay right here if this is a deep enough stretch, or taking it deeper, start to walk your arms up and let your forehead and your chest come through between the arms. Now, if the forehead doesn't touch the wall, start to walk your hands back down and then let the forehead come in. It's also totally okay to walk the hands down and have the forearms on the wall instead. Let the jaw be soft. Take 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, start to lift yourself back up. Walk your hands back down. Then let's step the right foot off and back and step your left foot up. So again, I'll give you a couple seconds here to find that place, find that stillness, switch any props over if that's what you need. Then your right foot steps back about 2 feet, toes turned out slightly. Reposition your hips back to face the wall, and then start to walk yourself up here. And you might notice that this side is quite a bit different than the first side. So dial it back or take it deeper if you can. Noticing here as well, I forgot to mention on the first side, but if you really feel like you're locking into your front knee, or your back knee for that matter, feel free to take a little micro bend here as well. Take 1 more breath. Then with your next inhale, start to guide yourself back up. Walk your hands back down. Let's step your left foot off and your right foot up. Arms come down by your sides. You can turn back away from the wall, hands onto your hips, soft bend into your knees. Draw some circles with your hips like you have a hula hoop around you. And then let's go the other way here. Coming back into center. Let's start to walk our left side body a little bit closer to the wall. Left hand comes onto the wall. Right hand onto your right hip. Transfer your weight off into your left foot. I'm actually going to walk just a little bit farther away. So I've got a little bit more space and grounding. Transferring the weight off into your left foot, lift your kneecap up, feel this quad get strong, and then turn your right knee out. You can keep your heel resting onto your left ankle. You can bring your foot up into your calf, or if it's part of your practice to lift your foot all the way up into your thigh, you can take that as well. I'm going to have my foot continuing to rest onto the calf here. Then wherever you are, press your standing leg into your foot and your foot back into your leg. Your left hand can stay on the wall here for support and stability. Maybe you bring your right hand onto the belly. If you want to release the hand away from the wall and test your balance, both hands can come onto the belly. And if this is stable and you want to try and take your tree further, extend your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then let your shoulders fall from the ears. Know that the wall is there to catch you if it happens to be a little bit windy today or your balance feels off. Your balance changes every day from moment to moment when you are in this transition period of your life. Take one more breath. Good. Then let the hands come back down to the heart. Hand back to the wall. Other hand back to your hip and release. Give the legs a good little wiggle out. Okay. Then we're going to shift our left side body closer to the wall. Extend your left arm back behind you. Your wrist stays in line with your shoulder. Toes keep facing forward, feet are parallel to one another. And you're moving yourself closer or farther away from the wall so that you can get this chest and shoulder stretch here. Now, I'm really tight into my chest and into my shoulder, so I've got this pretty big gap here. But you are welcome to move closer to the wall if you have the space. If where you are is too intense, walk yourself farther away. That's totally okay as well. Find that place that you can breathe into, and again, let the jaw be soft here. Whenever we clench into the jaw, that trickles down into the neck, which trickles down into the shoulders, and we're trying to release this tension. All right, take one more breath. With your next inhale, let's release. Turn to face the wall. Bring both hands back, ribcage distance height, shoulder distance apart. Then we're walking the legs back, coming into an upside down L shape. So hands come down, wrists stay in line with the shoulders, hips stay stacked above the ankles, soft bend into your knees. Hug baby up towards the low back. You can walk the hands down a bit further if you need to. Keep the crown of your head reaching forward as your tailbone keeps reaching back. You can either stay in stillness here or rock the hips from side to side. That can also feel really good to release tension in the lower back. And come back into center. Walk yourself back up. Then I'm going to turn my back to you here once again, just so that you can see where we're going. So your right hand comes onto the wall, shift your weight off into your right foot, left hand to your left hip. Now turn your left knee out to the side, bring your foot to your ankle, into your calf, or all the way up into your inner thigh. Then press your foot into your leg and your leg back into your foot. Left hand can come to the belly. Maybe the right hand releases from the wall and the right hand meets the left. You're welcome to stay right here. Or you can start to extend your fingers up towards the ceiling, let the shoulders soften and fall away from the ears. Take one more breath. And then bring your hands back onto your heart. One hand back to the wall, the other hand back to your hip. And then we're walking yourself a little bit closer towards the wall. Extend your right arm back behind you. Toes keep facing parallel to one another. Move yourself closer or farther away from the wall, whatever it is that you need on this side. Then with your next inhale, let's release. Turn back to face the wall. Both hands come back on, ribcage distance height, shoulder distance apart. Walk your legs back. Come back into this upside down L shape. Wrists stay in line with the shoulders. Keep the soft bend into your knees. Hug baby up towards your low back. Long from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Rock from side to side or just stay in stationary. Let your exhales come out of your open mouth, become a little bit more audible. Release all of that still breath. With your next inhale, let's start to walk yourself back up. Perfect. All right, grab a little sip of water if that's something that you need. Also, feel free to take a pause of this video if you need a little bathroom break as well. I'm just gonna grab a little sip here. And then we are going to do a wall sit. So if you've practiced with me in studio before, I like to incorporate something in every class that in a way can somehow simulate the growing intensity of a contraction. So for today, we are going to do a wall sit. Other times we do various different things. So check in with the next prenatal video that I launch for something else that will be a little bit different. So for the wall sit, I'm going to take my pillow, lean it up against the edge of the wall. Now this is pretty low, so I'm also going to take my blanket and stack it on top. Now you can pause this and grab some extra props as well so that you can lift this up even higher to you. Okay, you can also, you can take some books underneath so that you've got a little bit of a firmer surface. So basically what we're doing is we're taking your feet wider than hip distance. Let's start to lean your back up against the wall. Turn your toes out towards a 45-degree angle here. Now, most of us have, when we're leaning up against the wall, we've got this little bit of a gap between the lower back. So try and take your hand there, see if you can feel that. Then remove the hand, hug maybe towards your lower back. Hands are going to rest onto your thighs or onto your belly. And I'm not going to set a timer for this one, but we're going to take about 10 to 12 slow breaths. So draw an inhale in through your nose. And with your exhale, start to bend into your knees, slide down the wall into a chair. Now be mindful, if you went really deep right away, if you sunk down quite low, this is going to grow more intense the longer that we hold. So you're welcome to shift yourself back up a little bit. Now hands either rest onto your thighs or onto your belly, wherever feels comfortable. Roll your shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe close the eyes. Feel free to let your exhales come out of your open mouth. And we're just going to take about 8 more breaths. You're doing amazing. Find that inner strength. Know that the body is likely, or the mind is likely to take you out before the body does. So let's take 3 more breaths here. Last one. Great work. Slide down, let yourself land onto your props. Feel free to adjust your legs however you need to make some space here. Let the hands either stay in the lap or the hands rest onto the belly. Jaws soft. Taking a moment to let the breath and the heart rate slow down a little bit. And acknowledge yourself for holding and breathing through that. Now I know that that's probably a lot less intense than most people's contractions, but it's a really great tool for you to practice at any time. Also, any of those squatting positions, and what we'll do in the coming practice as well, will be a lot more hip opening, which can be really helpful for helping to alleviate that tension in the hips, but also for if you were close to labor and delivery. So stay tuned for that coming tomorrow as well. But for right now, let's just stay here in this moment. Take 1 more breath. And then however works for you at home, start to come away from the wall. And I'm going to grab my blanket here once again to sit on, to lift the hips and the pelvis up a bit and come back into a seat. Soles of the feet are now going to come together. Let the knees fall out to the sides. This can be a wide or a narrow diamond shape, whatever feels better in your body. And then start to massage out into your calves and down into your feet. Also feel free to take this into the thighs, inner thighs, outer thighs, down the calves, finding those sticky points between the shin bones and the calf muscles. And if you'd like to make your way down into the feet, take that as well. Just explore, find what feels good for you. Once you feel a good release here, come back into center. Let's take an inhale, lift the crown of your head up, shoulders back. With an exhale, little tilt forward, not much. You can stay right here, or if this feels pretty intense, dial it back, come back into center, and instead plant your hands back behind you so that you can lift the heart up and let the knees fall down. Maybe the gaze goes up as well. If it's uncomfortable for the back of the head to fall back, keep a little tuck to your chin. Let's just take 2 more breaths. And then start to draw the chin back in. Walk your hands back. And hands back to your calves. Flap the knees like they are butterfly wings. Let's fold your knees back up. Extend your legs out in front of you. Plant your hands back behind you once again. Let's inhale, point your toes, stretch out into the tops of the feet. Exhale, flex your toes back. Then maybe add on from here, inhale to point, heart can lift up a bit, and then exhale, flex, and you can round in. Inhale to point, and exhale. Let's take 1 more. And come back into center. From here, open your left leg up into a wide half V shape. Sole of your right foot comes in. Make sure that your left toes stay flexed, and this is a great place for you to stay. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, plant your fingertips down onto the floor mat in front of you. And again, take that length up into the spine, and with an exhale, little tilt at the hips and the pelvis. You can also take your pillow or any other props that you have out in front of you to lift the floor up towards you. Take 1 more breath. With your next inhale, start to make your way back up. If you are using a prop in front of you, move it out of the way. Open the right leg up. Sole of your left foot comes in towards your right thigh. Right toes stay flexed. Inhale, lengthen, and then with your exhale, begin that tilt. You don't have to, okay? So one side might feel different than the other, like I said already. Also, feel free to grab your props here once again. Use them to support you. Take 1 more breath. And then with your next inhale, start to make your way back up. If you're using a prop, let's move it out of the way. Close your legs back into a cross-legged position, whatever cross feels better for you. Then let's bring the fingertips to rest onto the shoulders and start to draw some circles with your elbows. Let the exhales continue to fall out of the open mouth. And then next time you pass through center, let's take these circles the other way. Good. Come back through to neutral. And tense your fingertips out on either side of you. Take an inhale through the nose. And exhale, right ear down to the right shoulder. Breathe into the left side of your neck. use your inhale, head lifts back up. Exhale down to the other side. And inhale, let's come all the way back up. So we're going to move into the final resting shape, whatever it is that feels good for your body. If you're still comfortable flat on your back in Shavasana, you are welcome to take that. If you want to stay in seated, you can. If you still got that wall space, we'll set up for a legs up the wall pose. So I like to use the blanket to lift the hips and the pelvis up a little bit more, up against the edge of the wall. Then come to sit onto the very edge, very edge. Feet are planted. I have my left hip up against the wall. Whichever way you're facing, whichever way you have the most space is perfect. So that inside hip is up against the wall. Plant your hands down and come down onto your forearm, then scoot your bum so that it is close, so that when we come up, we don't have to do a whole bunch of scooching then. Come down onto your forearm, onto your shoulders, scooch up, and then with an inhale, swing your legs up the wall. Now legs can be closed, legs can be open, they can be in a wide V, they can also be in a diamond shape. Arms can be in any variation that feel good for you here as well. Now if at any point this does not feel good for your body, know that you can come out and find a different shape that supports you. If you would like to come out, bring your feet to rest onto the wall. You're rolling off onto one side. If you're comfortable staying here for a while longer, just let yourself settle into this shape. If the palms are turned face up anywhere away from the side body, that helps the chest and the shoulders to release. You're also welcome to bring the hands to rest onto the belly, or one hand back onto the heart and onto the belly as well. Dear baby, I now choose to connect with you. I want you to know that I love you. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to give you what you need to develop into a healthy, happy baby. I welcome you into my life. I'm so happy to be pregnant with you. You're already loved so deeply by so many. I'm excited to be your mother. I give thanks for you, dear baby. I look forward to meeting you when the time is right. Now you're welcome to stay in whatever resting shape you are in for as long as you need to. Taking a moment here before you start to move to acknowledge your beautiful body, to recognize it for how hard it works for you 24/7, 365. No matter the turmoil that's going on around or inside of you, your body is here to support you and to support baby. Practice compassion towards yourself, towards everyone else, and prioritize your own self-care. I'm sending you all so much love and light. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or comments. I would love to connect, and I can't wait to see you in studio on your mat again soon. Namaste.